Hey guys, what's up? I'm Brittany. Welcome back. Today I figured I would bring you into my home office. I don't know why. I just find this to be a pretty inspiring little corner of my house where I hang out and be productive and get things done. So here we are. The lighting in here is not the greatest. I understand this. I'm sitting by a west-facing window and it's kind of gloomy today, and of course, yep, there's the glasses glare. But I don't know, maybe we can work it out. But that's not what this video is about. I brought you here today to tell you about the Aeolus Lite RDA. I have it on the 150 watt today by Sytheticloud with a super matchy dot mod drip tip. So I just wanted to share my experience and relationship with this guy. I've had it for about a month and a half now, which has given me plenty of time to throw different builds in here and test it out on different devices. Each time I use this, my experience does improve. The first time I cleaned this out and Josh put a build in for me, it sucked ass. I just got hot, fiery spit back like crazy, to the point that I did not want to use this at all. I was about ready to send it off to the RDA graveyard and not even think about it again. But it came around, and the second build that I tried in here was just my standard build. I don't do crazy Claptons. I use them, I just don't build them. So my standard build is just a 24 gauge Canthal wrapped around 3mm drill bit 8 times. I build 2 of those for a dual coil setup. Once I popped it back into the Aeolus that way, I did not get any spit back, and I haven't had any problems with it. For the last 3 days or so, I have put another fused Clapton dual coil setup in here, and I've not had any problems. So I'm not really sure kind of the progression here, but it's working fine now. I do have to say though, this is no tugboat. And I love my tugboats. This is not going to replace my tugboat by any means, but I will probably keep it around in rotation. It does produce very good flavor. And then of course with a Max VG liquid, the cloud production is pretty good. Can't complain there. I do have the fan on, so I don't know. I don't know if that matters at all. Okay, so what sets this thing apart from every other RDA on the market? It does not have your standard airflow. It has the top slotted airflow, and that's it. You can close it off. I leave mine about 75% open. That's just how I prefer to use it. But I also feel like that does cause the vape itself to be very cool in temperature. And it can also make the RDA heat up really fast because I don't feel like the coils are getting the appropriate airflow to keep them cool, if that makes any sense. So I kind of think that in this guy, the airflow comes in and then just goes straight up. I don't feel like it goes down around your coils and then back up the way it should. So that's when I find myself just closing it off some more, cranking up the wattage so that I actually get the sensation of a satisfying vape. But I've gotten used to that. I did not like that at first, but I've come around to it, and it's not bad. All right, so what else? I don't know. With the adjustable airflow, so there's a little lip under the drip tip. That is what you actually swivel around to adjust your airflow to your liking. And on the inside bottom, you can see there's like 8 airflow holes. You can have all 8 open, you can have 6 open, 4, or just 2. I think when I close mine off, I'm trying to see if I think I use about 6 airflow holes, which is about 75% closed off. Yeah, I need a drip. But it is a 4-post design with flathead screws. I have had to go in and readjust and tighten my screws down. Like when I'm re-wicking, I feel like they don't hold as tight as they could, but once I tighten them down, they're usually good until I have to re-wick again. Very generously sized post holes. I didn't have any problems getting this fused Clapton wire in here, so that's a plus. Yeah, so the deck is pretty average and standard. The one thing I don't think you can tell, but on the inside lip of this RDA, there are little metal tabs that are there. They're designed so that once you get it on properly, they do make it kind of a bitch to put the top cap on. I will say that. But once this is on and you've lined up your airflow, you can put it on and twist it, line it up to your coils, your airflow to your coils. If you keep going, it allows you to actually successfully remove your RDA from your device. I cannot tell you, even with the tugboat, how many times I've gotten stuck in that constant, like, twisty loop where you cannot get your RDA off because the top cap just keeps turning and turning and turning. That will not happen with this guy. So I appreciate that quite a bit. Like I said, it does make it kind of a bitch to put the top cap on, but once you get used to it and you know where your coils sit, you just pop it on and twist it to where it needs to be. So that's lovely. So I guess that's really all I have to say about it. I hated this thing at first, and then I've come to kind of like it. You know, it's a good device, it's a good RDA, and it's pretty affordable. I cannot remember exactly where we ordered ours from, but I did some price checking today and found that Vapor DNA currently has this for $39.99. And it comes in a plethora of colors. You can get green or blue or pink or white. I think my husband has the white version. I have the stainless version. I don't really remember what the drip tip looks like that came with this because I tend to not use a lot of the stock drip tips. I don't know. I've really come to like the dot mod drip tips quite a bit. So I can't really report on the drip tip. Sorry. But Vapor DNA has these for $39.99, or you can buy it directly from the makers of the Aeolus, which is Sytheticloud, and they currently have it for $42. So, I don't know. For a $40 RDA, I don't think you could go wrong. No, you could go wrong with a $40 RDA. I don't think you could go wrong by buying this $40 RDA. Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I'm just going to hang out and enjoy the rest of the week. I don't have any classes for the rest of the week, so the weekend for me has officially begun. I'm just going to go continue to look studious and hang out in my office and maybe make some cool graphics. I don't know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.